Did you know your 1974 Kennedy half-dollar could be worth much more than 50 cents? Most 1974 Kennedy halves are common, but one special variety could make collectors look twice. The 1974 D doubled die has noticeable doubling on the words "In God We Trust," and high-grade examples can be worth hundreds of dollars. So before you spend that old coin, check it carefully because you might have something special hiding in plain sight. Today we are taking a close look at the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar and answering one of the biggest questions coin collectors have about this coin. How much is a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar really worth today, and could your old half-dollar be worth much more than its 50-cent face value? The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is an interesting coin because millions of these coins were produced and most examples are not extremely rare. However, there are important differences between ordinary circulated examples, high-grade coins, proof coins, and especially the rare 1974 D Doubled Die Obverse variety. These differences can make a huge impact on the value of the coin. The first thing you should know is that the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is a copper nickel-clad coin. By 1971, the United States Mint had stopped using silver in regular Kennedy half-dollar circulation strikes. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar contains a copper core with a copper-nickel outer layer rather than the silver composition found on many earlier Kennedy half-dollars. PCGS describes the post-1970 Kennedy half-dollar composition as 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper center. The coin has a face value of 50 cents and it has a diameter of about 30.6 millimeters. It weighs around 11.3 grams and has a reeded edge. The obverse features the famous portrait of President John F. Kennedy designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was made at more than one United States Mint facility. The Philadelphia issue has no mint mark, while the Denver issue carries a small D mint mark. There was also a San Francisco proof issue made for collectors. The Philadelphia 1974 Kennedy half-dollar had a mintage of 20159600 coins. The Denver 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar had a mintage of 790666300 coins. These production numbers show us that the normal 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is not automatically rare simply because it is more than 50 years old. So what is an ordinary 1974 Kennedy half-dollar worth? If you find one that has been used in circulation and shows normal, where the value is usually close to its face value. Current price information from NGC shows circulated 1974 D examples generally around 60 cents to 75 cents depending on condition, while higher grade examples can be worth considerably more. The same basic idea applies to the Philadelphia version. A heavily circulated coin is usually not worth a huge amount simply because it is from 1974. Collectors are normally looking for condition, rarity, mint errors, varieties, and exceptional quality. This is one of the most important lessons for anyone searching through old coins. The date alone does not determine the value. Two coins can both say 1974 on the front, but one could be worth around face value while another could be worth hundreds of dollars if it has a rare variety or an exceptionally high grade. Now let's talk about condition. Coin collectors often use grading terms such as good, very fine, extremely fine about uncirculated and mint state. Professional grading companies use numerical grades to describe the condition of coins. Mint state coins have not received the same type of circulation where that ordinary pocket change receives. A circulated 1974 Kennedy half-dollar may show scratches, contact marks, dull surfaces, and wear on Kennedy's hair and facial features. The reverse may also show wear around the eagle and lettering. These characteristics normally keep the value relatively low. An uncirculated example can look completely different. The original surface may still have strong luster and the details can be much sharper. If the coin has very few marks and exceptional eye appeal, it becomes much more interesting to collectors. This is where the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar starts becoming more valuable. According to NGC, current price information for the 1974 D issue shows values increasing with grade. The listed guide ranges from around 60 cents for lower grades to much higher amounts in very high mint state grades, with the highest listed NGC guide reaching hundreds of dollars. Another important source of information is Coin World. Its current value data also shows that ordinary examples remain relatively inexpensive while high-grade examples can become substantially more valuable. Coin World lists the 1974 Philadelphia issue at higher values in exceptional grades, and the 1974 D issue also increases significantly as the grade rises. But there is something much more important that every collector should check before deciding that a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is ordinary. Look for the mint mark. If your coin has no mint mark, it was struck at Philadelphia. If you see a small D, it was struck at Denver. The mint mark can be found on the obverse of the coin below Kennedy's neck area. The Denver issue is particularly interesting because of a famous variety known as the 1974 D Doubled Die Obverse. This is where the story becomes much more exciting. A doubled die is not simply a coin that has been struck twice. A genuine doubled die is created during the die-making process and can produce visible doubling on parts of the design. Collectors carefully examine the lettering numbers and other features to determine whether a coin is a genuine doubled die or simply damaged. The 1974 D Doubled Die Obverse is recognized as an important variety, and it can be worth dramatically more than an ordinary 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar. Coin World lists values for the 1974 D Doubled Die Obverse that are far above normal examples and shows substantial increases at higher grades. PCGS also specifically identifies the 1974 Doubled Die Obverse as one of the major varieties associated with the Kennedy half-dollar series. This means that if you have a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark, you should not immediately spend it or assume it is worth only 50 cents. Take a closer look. Use good lighting and a magnifying glass if necessary. Examine the lettering and numbers on the obverse. Look for unusual separation or doubling that appears to be part of the design rather than scratches or damage. However, you should be careful because many coins appear doubled because of machine doubling strike issues.